Marcus Dunson has directed a quite under-the-radar horror film with The Collector. Now, I hadn't heard of this film. Presumably it went direct to DVD or direct to streaming. And it's one of those things that I was lost for something to watch, just flicking around on Amazon, fancied a horror film and thought I'd give this one a go. Now, the basic premise is we see the main character who is a petty thief who is trying to help clear his wife or ex-wife, we're not entirely sure, her debt to some very, very shady characters. So he decides he's going to have to do another job, another break-in, and break into a safe, into a house. So he chooses a house where he's done some work previously as a labourer, and we know that the family has gone away. So he's aware of the layout of the house, he knows the security codes, etc. He knows exactly where the safe is kept, and he also knows that the husband and wife and 2 daughters are actually out of the house. So he comes back in the evening, late at night, breaks in basically, and is in the process of opening up the safe when somebody else enters the house. Now, what we have here is a film that is almost like a cat and mouse game, but with a lot more gore, where we find that the new person that's come into the house is a very, very disturbed serial killer. This guy has some major issues, and basically what he does is he almost tests people, puts them through awful physical and mental torment, and he will choose to keep 1 or 2 people of each of his interventions. He's actually turned the whole house into like a giant booby trap. Now, you have to suspend some belief here, because the complexities of the traps, we're talking about spikes that come flying down from above, tripwires, we have knives that spin out from various different points in kitchens and in living rooms, and we're talking about spikes being put into the floorboards. If this sounds like Saw, then you're right, it is very much like Saw. It has the same sort of problem solving sort of, are these people going to survive, and if they aren't going to survive, how gruesome is their end going to be? Basically, the main character finds out that the family that he thought had left hadn't left. They are being held captive in the house while they're being tortured and tested. The little girl is missing, and we have a character who has the opportunity to escape. I mean, this guy is a criminal at the end of the day. He's seen the horrific things that are going on in this house. He's narrowly survives many times himself, but he also feels strangely compelled, when he has the chance to leave, to go back and find the little girl. Now, this is, as it sounds, quite derivative of Saw. The opening credits immediately think of Saw, the sort of grungy sort of opening credits. The lighting is quite similar to Saw. As I say, there's complexities of traps. It's surprisingly gory. This film is actually doesn't hold back. If it wants to stick a spike through your eye, or if it wants to cut off your hands or something, it's going to do so, and it's going to show you very visually. So I wasn't expecting an awful lot from this film, particularly as it seemed inspired by the Saw movie, so I was expecting a very cheap knockoff film. And actually this film really, really surprised me. The main character puts an awful lot of heart into this role. You can really understand what he's going through, and we almost have a mix of Saw meets Die Hard, where Bruce Willis was caught in an enclosed building trying to get out. We have the same situation here. The special effects, the visual effects are well on point. They look very, very good. We're talking about Saw quality. When a film opens, it seems like it's going to be quite low budget, but as you go along, you can see that they've saved money in certain areas to spend it on the things that really matter. And we have a very, very satisfying build up to the end, and then when you think it's ended, there's more to come as well. So I won't give away exactly what happens or what is to follow. There is a sequel, as there often is, called The Collection, but I would say that this is a film that really surprised me. I really enjoyed it. For a horror film, sort of horror survival type, purged Saw sort of film, I thought it was really, really good. I would definitely recommend watching it on Amazon. It's I think it's only a couple of pounds on Amazon Prime, Strangely enough, the sequel, the collection, is actually on Prime, on Amazon Prime, but it's actually free. It's included in Amazon Prime, so you pay for the first one, but if you've got Amazon Prime, then you don't need to pay for the sequel. So this is a really good horror film, guys. If you're looking for a horror, you don't mind a bit of gore, particularly if you enjoyed the Saw franchise, this is definitely a film you should check out. I was really, really surprised about how good and how much I enjoyed this film, and I'm more than happy to give this a B. So guys, let me know if you've seen it, what you think, and until next time, I'll see you later.